There are some athletes who seem destined for greatness the moment they first touch a ball. Kylian Mbappé was one of them. Born on December 20th, 1998, in the Parisian suburb of Bondy, football ran through his blood like a second heartbeat. From an early age, Mbappé's life revolved around sports, discipline, and dreams bigger than the streets he grew up on. Bondy wasn't a glamorous place. It was a tough neighborhood, known more for its struggles than for producing world-class talent. But from the moment Mbappé laced up his boots, there was a whisper around town. This kid was different. His speed was blistering, his control mesmerizing. Coaches at AS Bondy recall him being leagues ahead of boys twice his age. At just 11 years old, Mbappé's name was already circulating among the biggest clubs in Europe. He had trials at Real Madrid, where he met Cristiano Ronaldo, his idol. The story goes that he walked into the training ground starstruck. But once he got on the field, he played as if he was one of them. Madrid offered him a spot. So did Chelsea. Even the French Football Federation tried to fast-track his development. But Mbappé's family made a crucial decision. They decided to stay in France, where he could grow without the pressure that had broken so many young talents before him. In 2013, he joined the famed Clairefontaine Academy, a breeding ground for future French internationals. By 16, Mbappé was ready to make his professional debut. He chose AS Monaco, a club known for giving young players a real shot. In the 2016 to 2017 season, Mbappé led Monaco to a stunning league title and took them deep into the Champions League, where European giants could no longer ignore the teenager who moved like lightning and scored with icy precision. The world was beginning to understand. This wasn't just a talented boy. This was a generational phenomenon. In 2017, PSG, desperate to lock down the future of French football, broke the bank to sign him in a deal worth up to 180 million euros, making him the most expensive teenager in history. And yet, Mbappé handled the pressure with composure. While many would have crumbled under the weight of such expectations, he thrived. His debut seasons were a blur of goals, assists, and jaw-dropping performances. But Mbappé wasn't just playing for his club, he was racing toward the world stage. In 2018, at just 19 years old, Mbappé took the World Cup by storm. Wearing the number 10 shirt for France, he electrified the tournament with his fearless runs and ruthless finishing. Against Argentina in the round of 16, he produced one of the greatest individual performances in World Cup history, drawing comparisons to Pelé himself. In fact, when France lifted the trophy, Mbappé became the first teenager since Pelé to score in a World Cup final. From there, Mbappé's story turned into a saga of records shattered and history made. He dominated Ligue 1 year after year, winning multiple titles, scoring hat-tricks at will, and leading PSG to the Champions League final in 2020. But despite the domestic dominance, there was always an itch, an unspoken feeling that Mbappé was destined for even bigger stages, bigger challenges. Real Madrid, the club he dreamed of as a child, loomed in the background, like a star he was always meant to reach. Off the field, Mbappé remained grounded. He spoke of using his platform for good, donating millions to charity, speaking out on social issues, and carrying himself with a maturity rare for someone so young. By the age of 24, he had already scored over 250 career goals, won nearly every domestic honor, and became the face of France's national team. And yet, he spoke not of what he had achieved, but of what was still left to do. He wanted Champions League glory. He wanted another World Cup. He wanted to leave a legacy that would be remembered long after he hung up his boots. In the 2022 World Cup final against Argentina, Mbappé once again showed why he was born for the biggest moments. Scoring a hat-trick, he dragged France back from the brink of defeat, leaving the world breathless. Though France ultimately lost in a penalty shootout, Mbappé's performance elevated him to a new global level. A boy from Bondy who dreamed bigger than the world around him. A young man who carried the hopes of a nation on his back. A phenomenon who, in every sprint, every goal, every celebration, reminds us that sometimes greatness isn't stumbled upon. Sometimes it's inevitable.